I have a question for you today. If you had been born with a physical disability that would be life altering, where would you find your hope? And into whom would you place your trust? You see, many years ago, on a winter day, a woman in her 20s had a young baby, her third child, and upon delivery, pretty quickly, it was obvious that this baby would be described as a floppy baby. A few months later, this woman and her husband would be told that their daughter would not live past the age of 2 years old. Oh, can you imagine that? How did she and the rest of her family, how did they deal with that? Well, thankfully, due to a outright misdiagnosis, that child lived well beyond 2 years. And you're looking at her right now. Hi, my name is Melinda. I use a wheelchair full time. I have a diagnosis of a non-progressive form of muscular dystrophy, and I am here to share with you all the tips and tricks that I have for living a life of abundance and thankfulness. This channel will be filled with all sorts of messages like that, as well as advising how to get really close to God and to feel Him in your soul. So today we are going to talk about the three main obstacles that I personally have noticed that everyone deals with. The first of which is confidence, the second of which is trust, and the third, hope. When we look at confidence, we're looking at confidence in who we are and to whom we belong. You know, it's really important to not only be self-reliant, to stand up strong for ourselves, to realize that no matter what our abilities or disabilities are, that we have a lot of value in this world. But it's also equally important that we need to remember that we have to rely on God. Without God, we would not be here. You know, some people, side note, some people wonder why people with disabilities, how can they be filled with joy? I mean, they're just a mistake, right? God certainly doesn't want people to be disabled. It's a conversation for another time, but I do want to say that we are all given the bodies that we are given for a reason. Our souls match up with our bodies, and together they are beautiful and resilient and meant to be. All right, back to what we were talking about. So, you know, it says in the Bible, even when we fail to rely on God, He never fails to extend His grace to us. Thank heaven, right? Because, man, oh, do we fail? Yeah. So be confident in who you are, and confident that you are a beautiful, loving child of God. Regarding the second obstacle, trust, it seems that it's pretty easy to not have trust in others. Also, unfortunately, having trust in ourselves is a little difficult. For example, making YouTube videos and trusting whether or not I'm doing the right thing, but I know that I am. You know, we may not feel that we are perfectionists, but I gotta tell you, every one of us has a perfectionist in us. And you know how I know that? Because it's really easy to get upset with other people, to set them to such a high standard that if they don't come even down here, we're disappointed in them. We all know that people are struggling with their own things. They're doing the best that they can most times. But if we set such a high standard, almost unachievable, you know what it is? When we set that standard for ourselves also, it's just an excuse for inaction. If we decide that we can't be perfect, we're not going to try, then we're left where we are. The two things that I want you to work on are aiming for improvement and progress. Improvement in our daily lives, progress long term, and then also really working on effective communication with others. If they don't know what we want from them, how are they supposed to achieve it? Also, you know, I listen to a little Tony Robbins daily, and one of my favorite sayings that he has is that perfectionism is the lowest standard on earth. It's because we can't achieve it, so we just don't even try. And lastly, our hope in our future to change. It's pretty easy to sit back and think, well, I know that they can do it. Look at them. For example, I could say others have more strength, they have more height, they're quicker, they're more able. But you know what? I trust in myself. I have that hope in my future because I know I have the ability to do things that I set my mind to. Sometimes we do see ourselves as stuck, right? And it's really easy to see that. But our lives can change in an instant if we just decide now is the time. Now is the time that I am not only going to do A, B, and C, but I'm also going to do D through Z. I'm going to do it all. And I know it'll take effort, and I know it'll take scheduling, and I've never tried, maybe you've never tried something like what you're about to try, but you can do it. And if you need support, that's what this channel is for. Let's think about the example in the Bible of Saul becoming St. Paul. Saul was a great and awful persecutor of Christians. And when he saw Jesus come back, he knew that he had to be the converter of people to Christianity. So you ask Saul, in 10 years, 10 years before he converted, in 10 years, do you see yourself doing this? Absolutely not. But like I said, everything can change in a day. So wouldn't it be absolutely amazing to have increased confidence, to feel more connected to God, right? Absolutely. That's what we all need. How about trusting ourselves and others more than we currently do? And to have such a hope, a real hope in our future that we are equipped not only to set goals, but also to achieve them. Close your eyes. I'll close my eyes for just a second. But close your eyes and imagine yourself 1 year from now. What do you feel? Do you feel proud or confident? Part of something bigger than yourself? Man, can you believe the joy that you felt over that past year? The lives you have touched. Just imagine yourself 1 year from today. Let's go ahead and make this commitment together, to work together. I'm going to put value in each of these videos. Come, comment, ask questions. Let me know what you need, because I am here for you to share my story, the story of others. We're going to get real, in depth in what we study here and what we go over. Real simple. So please subscribe so you get those notifications. Like, comment, and share. Let's make that commitment to ourselves and to others, to be willing to overcome obstacles and more. In the words of the song from MercyMe, we're on our way to breaking through because we are made for something new. All right, thank you.